Welcome to the 2024 St. Paul String Quartet Competition Virtual Interviews. My name is Ray Shows. I'm first violinist of the Artaria String Quartet, and I'm also founder and administrator of America's finest competition exclusively for string quartets. This is our 19th year of competitions, and today I have the distinct privilege of introducing the LUMEN Quartet from Ohio. I hope everybody's doing well today. Would you please introduce yourselves, starting with the cellist, and go around the room here. Introduce yourselves by letting your audience know who you are, your name, your instrument, and where you go to school.
Yeah, I'd be glad. I'm Josiah Tagaun. I'm the cellist of the LUMEN String Quartet, and I come from Columbus, Ohio, and I'm actually homeschooled. Yeah. What's the violist?
My name is Hyunyoung Lee. I am the violist, and I go to Columbus Academy.
My name is Soto Lai. I'm a violinist, and I go to Metro High School.
My name is Jonah Davis. I'm a violinist, and I go to Bexley.
Nice to meet you all, and of course, you are part of that world-famous chamber music connection in Ohio. I think that's fantastic. Glad to have you on board. Okay, let's start right in here. That was question number one. Okay, so question number two. So how did each of you get an introduction and an interest, I guess, stirred up in you about chamber music? Why don't we start with the violist?
Miss Debbie is actually my private teacher, and when I started with her, she introduced me to CMC, and after a while there, I switched to viola from violin, and that was my intro to chamber music. How
many years have you been in the program?
I think this is my third year in a row, and I was in the program before COVID, but I had to take a break because of the pandemic.
Super. Let's go to Josiah.
Yeah, so I actually have three older brothers, all of whom play violin, viola, and cello, and they actually went to the program before me, and that's really how I was introduced in 2017. And I've really loved it ever since, and I think I've really stuck to chamber music more so than orchestra because I just know there's so much more room to be expressive in chamber music, and I really love being able to play a part of that.
So you've been looking up to your older siblings and watching them enjoy it a lot and thought, hey, I could try this. All right, Jonah, would you please tell us how you got introduced to chamber music?
Yeah, so when I was maybe 7 or 8, I also started in the chamber music connection. And actually, my very first group was a trio with Josiah. So funny coincidence. But yeah, so ever since then, it's just been so fun. And I love playing in a small group with other people where we can work together, but also joke and have fun and stuff like that.
Fantastic. Soto, the final word.
Yeah, I heard about chamber music connection from my sister. She's a flutist. She's currently in music school. And a few years ago, she joined the program first, and then she kind of told me about it. And then I thought it'd be cool to join. And my first group was also the Josiah, which is a coincidence. And I think I've been in the program for almost 3 years now.
So you guys are getting older now. So what ages are we talking about here? What grades are you all in? Well,
the three of us right here are all 15 except for Soto. We just turned 16, I think, a couple weeks ago. And we're all freshmen in high school. And sophomore. I'm sorry. I really messed up there. We're all sophomore in high school, and actually, Jonah, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm 14, and I'm in 8th grade.
Okay, so I am so off. You're not old. You're young. This is great. So I hope to see you for many years. This is fabulous. Very fabulous. Okay. Question number 2. So how did you coalesce into a string quartet? Was there a particular magic or you knew each other? Who would like to talk about that?
We were all in separate string quartets before. Actually, funny coincidence, Josiah was in all of our first string quartets. Separately. Yeah. And then Jonah and I were in a quartet together before LUMEN. And then, what do you think?
I was in a little bit
it's complicated.
And then 2 years ago, we got grouped together. Yeah. By CMC.
By magic.
Yeah.
So Josiah, you must be just magnetic personality or something. Everybody wants to be in a group with you.
Yep, I was all the first groups. No, I was there. But, so
Now you-
so it was like first look at each of them before really going up with them. But yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay, so I have to ask this question every year. How did you come up with your name? I mean, you know, I've been doing this for 19 years, and I'm not making this up. We've never had a duplication ever in the years, and that's a lot of quartets. So how did you guys come up with the LUMEN Quartet?
We wanted to come up with a name that described our playing, and we thought light, lumen, and Martin would be a good fit.
That's pretty logical. I like that. So now, one of the important parts, besides naming yourself, which is probably the hardest thing to do, is to come up with some really good repertoire choices. Okay. And I know, especially in high school, the coaches usually just tell you what to play. So this happens, but there's also some interesting stories sometimes behind why. I like to hear the background story and share it with the audiences, why you came to a particular piece or your coach gave you a particular piece. So the first thing I noticed is you're doing Haydn 77 #1, correct? I love that piece. Now, what about the other two pieces? You're doing Mendelssohn Opus 13 and Shostakovich 3. Who would like to talk about how you came to those pieces?
I think I will. Yeah. The Shostakovich, especially, I think we've heard it played in our program so many times by older groups, and it's always been something. It's been like a piece that
It's really iconic.
it's really iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Play it, and it just captures so many like emotions and experiences that I guess you don't really feel or see in other composers or in other pieces. So it's just something really different, but that gives us a lot of room to like explore different things with it, I guess.
Shostakovich is a very attractive string quartet writer, especially for young players. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was what he said was his favorite quartet out of that. Now, there's some in each movement. I hope you get a chance to play more than just the third movement, because the piece ends miraculously, and it's just such a beautiful testament of a very dark era in the 20th century. And I look forward to hearing you guys play it. Someone talk about the Mendelssohn.
There was like a, you know, that we already mentioned the Dodge String Quartet before, which Josiah's older brother was a part of at some point. And in their final year, I think when they were part of the Chamber Music Connection program, they were playing the same Opus 13 #2, but they were playing the fourth movement of the string quartet. So obviously, like, we had heard it a lot of times throughout different concerts, and I think we all agreed that it was like a really fun piece. And so we were kind of like listening through the quartet, and we really liked the first movement. I think Jonah especially really liked it. So I think that's last summer? Yeah, last summer is when we first played the piece at the CMC summer festival thing, and that's where we first got experience with the piece. And I think from there we all kind of we realized that it was a fun piece, and that we should use it for like competitions and stuff.
So what I'm picking up is that from your perspective at this point is that you hear something, you like it, you want to tackle it, you want to get right in and taste the piece, feel the piece from the inside. That's beautiful. That's how a lot of people come to string quartet, the particular repertoire. So, but I always love that. I love the stories that everybody shares with that. Okay, so here's a fun question. I love asking this one, and let's let Josiah answer this one first, because I think he's got some legacy here that will help him in this. So, Josiah, how would you describe your quartet's rehearsal style?
Oh, okay. I would say it's very fun. That's always the first part, and always really the most important part. We always try to see, like, at that moment, what each of us really wants to focus on and what will help us benefit the most from that rehearsal, and we'll just roll on from there. And we always try to give each other the voice, let them try to dictate at least part of the rehearsal, try to have them lead it, and see how all of our different rehearsal styles can blend together and mesh into this one, like, well-defined style.
Soto, would you agree with that, or is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that like it's important in our rehearsals that we like give everybody a chance to say something or like not give everyone a chance to say something, but make sure that everyone's voice is heard, especially like if we're choosing a certain passage to play, or maybe there's a certain style that somebody wants to play it. But I wouldn't say we have like a super strict sort of style of rehearsal. I think there's a lot of different activities, not activities, but like warm up strategies, but also like strategies for tackling a specific passage in the piece. So there's a lot of those strategies that we go back to whenever we encounter those, but there's not like an exact way that we rehearse every time. It's more of just organic, sort of what comes to us.
Jonah, would you say that, and this is true of all quartets, that your quartet has a particular strength and or weakness that you could share with us?
I think our strength is that we all enjoy it a lot. We all enjoy rehearsing with each other, especially. We have a great time every time we meet. Weakness. Any thoughts?
Intonation.
That's everybody's problem when we're playing. Shin Young, what's it like working with three guys?
Honestly, we've been together since we were pretty young, so I feel like they're just goofy people at this point.
It's like having three brothers in the group with you, kind of a thing. You just get to know each other really well.